Okay guys, I'm not here to tell you that The Rock and Dwayne Johnson are the same guy. We all know who the dude is. Wrestler, actor, beefcake, yeah. Pretty much everyone loves him. Fans adore him, and it's easy to see why. But wait, here's a teaser fact. What do you think The Rock's net worth is? Any guesses? It's $280 million. And to put it into perspective, at his lowest, he counted out all of his assets and only had $7 to his name. But we went down a rabbit hole, and you guys, we found some really fun facts that you probably don't already know about Dwayne The Rock. Okay, so how many of you know his early life? No one? I guess it is kind of difficult to picture The Rock as a kid. Well, one thing that may surprise you is that he was born in LA, but because his father was born in Canada, he is a Canadian citizen. Also, he spent a large portion of his youth with his mother's family in New Zealand. His father was a pro wrestler and was, of course, Dwayne's inspiration for his love of wrestling. The Rock is actually a third-generation wrestler. Even one of his grandmothers was a wrestler. His dad went by Rocky Johnson. Isn't that funny? Dwayne was interested in bodybuilding and sports from a young age. His father agreed to take him under his wing, and they would often work out together. But his first love was football. Before wrestling, he actually had dreams of going professional, and he ended up achieving those dreams. He played at the University of Miami and then professionally with the Canadian Football League. Remember when I said I couldn't picture him as a child? Due to his father's fitness habits rubbing off of him, Dwayne had a lot more developed muscle as a teenager than most of his peers. Much before he was at the University of Miami, he was just a regular kid in high school, but he had already been bodybuilding. He looked so much older that a lot of his classmates suspected him of being an undercover cop, like 21 Jump Street. Could you imagine that happening in real life? Not only could you imagine someone suspecting you of being a cop, but could you imagine if you suspected someone and then it turns out that they actually were a cop? Absolutely wild. While at the University of Miami, The Rock studied physiology and criminology. He wanted to work for the FBI at that point in his life. How cool is that?
Former field agent, I'm very much aware of how difficult it is to make the transition to office life.
You know, Chief, he didn't unjam the copier. Now, we have rules here, you know that. And if you don't follow the rules, then what are we?
Also, it's hilarious, because his old classmates had accused him of being a cop when now he decides that he wants to be a federal agent. Ironic, no? However, he decided at some point that sports would not be enough to carry him to law school, and his grades were, in his own words, a pile of steaming. Anyway, before he was in movies, The Rock played roles in some TV shows. He once played his own father on that show, and he was a natural. He also showed up in Star Trek Voyager when he was young. I love going back and looking for younger versions of celebrities. Just me? And now he's in the DC Extended Universe as Black Adam. And speaking of movies, did you guys know that The Rock was Tim Burton's next choice for Willy Wonka? In case Johnny Depp couldn't do it, Burton chose The Rock. Do you think that movie would have been better with The Rock as Willy Wonka? It would have been very different, and that's enough for me to want to see it.
Wasn't that just magnificent? I was worried he was getting a little dodgy in the middle part, but then that finale, wow.
Dwayne is also a musician. He plays guitar, and he's a singer.
I see trees of green, red roses too.
He voiced Maui in Moana, and the music in that movie is amazing.
Hey, it's okay, you're welcome. I'm just an ordinary demigod.
Actually, Maui from the movie was actually loosely based on The Rock's grandfather, who was, you guessed it, a wrestler. What? Talk about full circle. Like Maui, The Rock has a lot of ink. His tattoos took about 60 hours total to complete. The designs is meant to represent all of the things that are important to me, that I love, and that I'm passionate about. Part of the design is his family's heritage. That's just beautiful. Also, could you just try to to imagine what it must be like to be The Rock?
Yes, man! What the Rock?
Like, not in a spiritual sense, like how difficult it must be to physically have to maintain that body. He has said that he eats at least 1 steak a day, and that it would be one of about 7 to 9 meals he has in a day. I can't wrap my head around that, to be honest. I'm a little frightened, but also oddly impressed. Not only that, and the working out he must have to do, and the amount of water he must have to drink. But not only all of that, but is he also sort of a method actor? We found out that he likes to decide what his character would smell like, and then he would make himself smell like whatever that was. Method acting is usually just terrifying behavior, but this trick seems like it could maybe be helpful, or maybe it could be really inconvenient for everyone around you. What do you guys think? Should you smell like the job you have, or should you smell like the job you want? I'm kidding, of course. The Rock seems like a really awesome guy, and this next fact proves it. Did you know that he created the Dwayne Johnson Rock Foundation? It's a charity that gives care to terminally ill and at-risk children.
Let me see those biceps, man. Yeah, look at that. Awesome.
He is also known to regularly donate online to fundraisers for disaster relief, personal tragedies, animal welfare, and of course, to the University of Miami for their football field renovation efforts. He once also paid for a stray dog's life-saving surgery, and when flooding began in Hawaii in 2018, Dwayne was there to fund damage control. I mean, what more could we ask for? Actually, if he were a dog person, that would be— oh wait, he is! He not only has a pair of brother dogs, but they're French bulldogs. But they're also rescued. Gosh, he really is perfect.
I don't believe in nepotism, but I always believe in taking care of the family.
If you want to hear more about the details, he actually wrote a memoir, so you can read it right from his perspective. It's called The Rock Says. If you've read the book, drop your favorite Rock fact in the comments, and let us all like the one that we think is the funniest. So, what did we learn? To sum it up, The Rock is a generous person who values family above all else. People tend to think of him as just a wrestler or just an actor, but I think we can all agree that he must be a truly genuine person. We also learned that he is outspoken about activism and isn't afraid to engage with the community. And we learned that The Rock was almost Willy Wonka, and that's just super cool. Let us know what you think, and please give us a like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure to ring the bell so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching, and see you all next time.